While certain cultures teach that crying is not allowed as a sign because it's a sign of weakness, I, Father Sunny, want to tell you that crying is all good. Cry it out. Cry a good cry and cry as much as you want. Hello, this is Father Sunny and welcome to another dose of Holy. It's good to be with you this evening. In some cultures, my dear brothers and sisters, it seems like the idea of crying is considered as a weakness or something kind of negative, especially for men. Boys in certain cultures are told not to cry because that's something that men shouldn't be doing. So boys are not supposed to be crying. In fact, I think there's even a song, "Boys Don't Cry" or some sort. And so, while certain cultures teach that crying is not allowed as a sign because it's a sign of weakness, I, Father Sunny, want to tell you that crying is all good. Cry it out. Cry a good cry and cry as much as you want. Crying is a good thing. And sometimes there are certain things that we're not able to say. We need a release. We need to release some of these and maybe emotions or things like that within us, and we need to let it out in order for us to be able to feel better. Or maybe, sometimes it's not even about feeling better. It's just needing a release. And sometimes when our hearts are full, that we're so grateful, we're so thankful, we're overwhelmed with positivity, even with positive things like that, sometimes it ends up that we need to cry it out anyway. And so when opportunities and times like that happen to us, we shouldn't be like, I need to hold my tears. No, cry it out. Cry it out, baby. Cry it out, dude. It's good for you to cry. And I think we can see this, for example, in the scriptures, where the shortest passage in the New Testament is only 2 words. Jesus wept, or maybe 3 words. And Jesus wept, and the weeping, the release of water through our eyes, and all that stuff kind of coming out is actually very healthy for us, and it's part of our humanity. If you've never ever cried in your life, you're missing out on something. And I think because I'm a priest, I'm exposed to people crying and people, having to need to have a release. And so many a time, my priestly shoulder has been a crying shoulder for some people over the years. And yes, that happens, and it's all good. I myself have needed to cry it out, and sometimes even just with, like, when you're watching a really good movie or something like that. When I watched the movie Toy Story 3, I cried. I was like, I couldn't help but tear up and cry. And I'm not gonna tell anybody that, I'm not gonna hide it from anybody, like, that I'm crying. I said that is such a good cry when you cry out like that. And so I would like to kind of propose today that it is a beautiful thing to cry. In fact, in the way God has created us, there's a reason why crying is included in the way that we are created. It is part of the wonders of being human, that we are able to cry it out. And I think people who have never experienced those kinds of strong and very overwhelming emotions are deprived of some amazing experiences of being human. There might have been one movie, I think, that where I've seen this, where the cyborg started crying, and then he realized that he was no longer a cyborg. He has already become a human being. I don't know what movie that is, but it's sometime in the past. So we don't have to put a label to crying. We don't have to call it emotional. We don't have to call it weak. We don't have to call it sissy, or we don't have to, whatever name you want to put in there, okay? Just call it human. and it's good for you. So I hope that next time you find a tendency or a certain moment when you find yourself lump your the next episode here at Dose of Holy. This is Father Sunny, and God bless you. Bye.